Okay, well, it's been too long since I last saw this next bloke. He's a great friend of mine. We've been friends forever. We've done loads of stuff together. We're now sober together. He's been alcohol-free for 12 years. I'm sniffing on his shoulder with 18 months. Who is it, Vassos?
Our next guest is a legend of the football field and the silver screen, and he's about to become a legend of the Hammersmith Apollo. He's making his stage debut in Only Fools and Horses, the musical, this Christmas. So please welcome a superstar who's not mini or skinny, but very Vinnie Jones.
Vinnie Jones!
Yeah, thank you.
Vinnie Jones. Hello, Vinnie. How are you, mate?
All right, geez.
You look so well.
Thank you, mate. Yeah.
So 12 years booze-free.
No booze. Off the cigars now for 2 years as well. So, yeah the old skin's
Your eyes
looking
are
pretty
sparkling,
good.
Man. Honestly, there's magic there in that soul.
Yeah,
and also,
happy.
you because you have a farm and you're in West Sussex and the air is good. So this is like...
Yeah, down your old stomping ground, always the amount of people say, oh, yeah, that was Chris Evans' pub. No, it was this one. It was that one over there. It was this one.
No, it's the main one on the Chiddingfold Road.
Yeah, lovely.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so, no, good down there, mate. Try and... we've been trying to do a nice little show called In the Country, Vinnie Jones in the Country, which is great on Discovery. But I now had this chance come up with Fools and Horses, and we grew up with it. You know what I mean? I'm going to do over Christmas. I'm going to do 2 weeks before Christmas and a week after at the Hammersmith.
Okay.
Cast a magnificent.
They're big shows, aren't they? Because 3,000 people every night.
3,500 a night.
3,500 every night.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Starts on the 17th of December. So who are you playing?
Danny Driscoll. So, playing Danny Driscoll, lend Del Boy some money. Me and Tony going, you got to pay, There's a couple of little bits from Lockstock in there,
Love it.
Start taking liberties. Well, no, I can't have liberties.
I can't have
You know what I mean, Del Boy.
Yeah,
little bit of old Lenny McLean for
so
you.
stage different to obviously film and TV, acting-wise. It's got to be
Terrifying.
bigger. Terrifying is also a word.
Yeah.
Are you scared? Are you actually scared?
Well, I do believe if you work hard enough and prep hard enough, you'll do it. You know what I mean? But I did it for X Factor. I mean, I stood out there like a lemon for 3 or 4 shows for Simon Cowell. If I can do that, I'm sure I can do this. But this is genuine excitement, anticipation. I phoned Guy, obviously, and I said, what do you think? And he was like, absolutely.
Got to go
do
for
it. And we're doing The Gentleman after Christmas.
Right.
After the show, we start that. And I've just wrapped up on season 2 of my country show. So I've been busy, and then I've got to get back to LA for a couple of months, play golf.
Okay, so you go and chill out in Los Angeles. You're making life work for you, absolutely 100%. You didn't buy one. Well, you did buy one farm, but then happenstance meant that the farm next door came
fishery,
as well.
the trout fishery came up.
So
got
you have
that where you fished, I think.
Well, I went to look at it. I don't know if it's the same place or not, but I remember a really deep, unbelievably crystal clear trout pond next to a gorgeous old house around there.
Yeah.
But yours is a series
near
of
the garage,
lakes.
right near the garage.
Right
on
near the
left.
garage.
Yeah.
The garage where they still come out and help you with the petrol.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah.
On the way to Goodwood. You must see all that traffic as well.
The last fuel before Goodwood, it says. Yeah,
it does, and it's
that's
true
me.
as well.
All on the left, that's me there. Yeah.
So your pheasant and your partridge or grouse or.
No, the grouse are up north. We do the trout, we do the carp, we do clay shooting, we do conservation. Doing a lot of wild bird seed. We're doing a lot of kingfishers, hedgehogs.
And so lots of wildflowers going on to attract the wildlife.
Yeah, to help them through the winter. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And Paul
got kingfishers on the pond.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kingfishers in full flight. Amazing.
Amazing. We've been spending hours down there with the lads trying to get it on camera. So, and Paul Whitehouse came down. We had a chat the other day. Had a fish.
Right.
And talked about the show, yeah.
So this is a meeting of mine. So Paul, if you don't know, Paul Whitehouse wrote Only Fools and Horses the musical. In fact, when we came here from Radio 2, our first ever show, Paul Whitehouse was on that show to talk about this musical he'd written called Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah. And John Sullivan had started writing it,
right?
And then Paul and Sullivan's son carried on writing it.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I have. I've seen it last week in full rehearsal. They started 2 nights ago at Bromley, full house.
Because it's touring,
standing ovation. They're touring. So I'm going to jump in at Christmas.
Right.
West End show, Hammersmith Apollo, 3,500 people.
Crazy.
Get a bit of ice for the old bum.
Squeaky bum time.
Tweaky bum.
Now, Paul loves his fishing, doesn't he, Paul Whitehouse?
Oh, he loves it, yeah.
Can you tell when somebody has fished before? Is it obvious? Do they
Yeah,
speak the language?
we kind of surprised each other a little bit when I went fishing with Guy for the first time, because he can actually properly fly fish.
Right,
you know, he's not just swatting flies with it. He's not just bang, bang, bang. You know, he was casting lovely. My gear weren't too healthy because I just leave me stuff down by the pond, by the lake, so that I pull up in the Polaris. I jump out. I'll fish for 10 minutes sometimes. Right. Ain't caught nothing. Jump in the Polaris and go home.
Okay.
Or I'll throw something in for the carp down the bottom lake, and just try and hook something in 10 minutes. So there was a few knots on the line, and the line wasn't turning over properly and presenting the fly properly.
Yeah.
But no, he's good fly fisherman. Yeah.
Isn't it funny though? Because Guy loves his shooting, his hunting, and his fishing.
Loves his fishing. Loves his fishing.
And he's got on a stay. He's got all that going on.
He's in Hampshire. Yeah.
And did you know that when you first got together for Lockstock that you had this mutual love of such things?
No, but that really did pull us together. And you got to remember then, Matthew Vaughan and Guy. They were kind of, grafting for a living, so, and I was the footballer, so I kind of fed the lads, if you like. They'd come to football to be fed. So they'd come to Wimbledon, get a meal, we'd go into London after, and then we'd go fishing and, get the shooting going. We had Madonna on the clays down in London, teaching her clay shooting and all that. So it was a fantastic, bizarre time.
So it was that way round?
Yeah.
I mean, how into all this was Guy when you first met him? Or was he just cutting his teeth on it, or had he already been fishing?
No, it's like anything. If you've got a lad that comes for a trial for football, you can just throw him a ball. You'll see if they can play football.
Right.
No, and Guy was, an established fly fisherman, same as Whitehouse was. So it was nice. And I think I was walking on the test one day, walked around the corner, all nice and quiet, stalking up on a
Where is the test?
Fish.
Where does it go from?
Down in Hampshire.
Right, down in Hampshire.
I was down in Stocksbridge, down that way. And there were two geezers walked around the other way, which you don't normally see because there's lengths of beat that you can walk on and no one's there.
Yeah.
And they both stopped and looked at me, and one dropped his rod like that. And I went, "You're right, mate." And his jaw was open, and he said, "I just never thought I'd see Vinnie Jones walking along the test trying to catch fly fish for a brown trout."
Wow.
I go, "Yeah, you never know, do you, mate?"
So the river test is that, I've heard of that because Ross Brawn, his dream was to live on the River Test, and because he then sold his racing team, he could afford to do it, and he built his dream place. Yeah. So is the River Test like a big deal?
Yeah, and it runs through. It's gin clear, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's
gin clear. That's a good phrase, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the kind of gin we'll be drinking nowadays.
None of the gin I drank ended up pretty clear. I can tell you, it was an absolute
How are you
nightmare.
on the alcohol-free stuff? Because I do like the alcohol-free beer.
No, it's a slippery slope.
Do you think so?
Yeah. First time I gave up many years ago, I phoned Steve. I had a 40th at the Grove, and it was proper messy.
Yeah.
And the next day I phoned Jonesy, Steve Jones, Sex Pistols.
Right.
And I said, "I've got a problem." He went, "Oh, yeah, you have some." Okay. So I went back, and I had done it half-heartedly. And after 6 months or 8 months, I went on the non-alcoholics.
Right.
At that time, it was Beck's. Zero Beck's. It's a slippery slope, Chris. Be careful, mate.
All right, I will be careful, I promise.
Be careful.
Have you been watching Clarkson's Farm?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Can you relate to a lot of what Jeremy's going through?
Well, Jeremy's doing... He's... Yeah, absolutely. I got farmers all round me, struggling.
Yeah.
And for him to come out and do the show and to show how people in the countryside struggle is fantastic. I mean, I took mine round about 2 or 3 years before that. We don't earn any money off my farm and that. Blondie done some, she does the honey and that. She took it to a little fete the other day, earned some money, and we gave it. She rescued an owl, barn owl fell out of a nest. So we gave it to the lady. Then she gave it back to us, and we soft released it back in the wild. So Emma thought it'd be a good idea if we raised some money for the Wildlife Trust in Sussex.
Beautiful.
So she got the honey. So we do things like that, whereas Jeremy's trying to raise... earn money and keep his farm going, which is impossibility because I know all the farmers around us. Yeah. But ours is, more of the conservation and country pursuits.
Any apples on your show?
We got a few apples, I think.
We got a few apples in today.
Have we?
Yeah, they're from Apple. Actual Apple.
Hello, boys.
Yeah. This is all because, I don't know, but Mike, who hosts Talk's breakfast show, okay, he lost his phone yesterday, and spookily today, the people from Apple are having a tour of the building. I wonder if he's after a freebie or not. Do they?
It's probably a freebie,
Yeah. Vinny, it's great to see you, man.
Yeah, it's good. And the mental health is massive, Chris, at the moment.
The ads that were running during the European Euros were great.
Yeah,
well
we're
done.
working hard on that for young lads and blokes, and it's all right to talk, and since I went on with Piers Morgan on this morning and broke down, and a lot of people have sort of gone, wow, he is human, you know what I mean? And we can trust him and we can talk to him. And that's kind of what The Farm is. You'll see it in season 2 of the Country Show. It's all big lads that have, got big hearts.
Yeah.
And they need other blokes to talk to. And that's what we're trying to tell them.
Yeah, to open them up.
Try to open them up, And then I go back as Danny Driscoll.
Yeah, live open. All right, onlyfeelsonstage.com. Already doing the business, but Vinnie joins the cast at the big shows for Christmas.
Yep.
3,500 people a night at London's Hammersmith Apollo from Tuesday, December 17th.
Already selling out. It's gone mental, the tickets.
And
it's
you're on
great.
this morning.
Yes.
Which means you got to go.
I got to go, Chris. It's lovely to see you, boy.
It's been emotional.
It has certainly been emotional.
As always. Come Dabby Toon, Rodney. Come Dabby Toon. See you in a bit.
Radio.